Who are you?
Hi, I'm Preeti Khattri, and I'm a mechanical engineer who converted into a trail running passionate ultra runner and met Mira Rai in 2015. And since then, I'm a trail running campaigner in Nepal with Mira. And we are running Mira Rai Initiative together with projects like scholarship projects for girl ultra runners, and trail running camps, and races in remote parts of Nepal.
Hello, everybody. Namaste. I am Mira Rai, trail runner, ultra runner, and from Nepal. And I'm asset of Salomon from Europe. And I'm National Geographic Adventurer of the year 2017 and Asia Game Change Society Award. Also, I did 2018 from New York City. And so, like that, thank you.
Mira, you have been voted Asia Game Changer 2018. Tell me what you had to do to receive that award. How do you qualify for that?
That's qualified was I run different country in I said 2014, and then I came 2015 overall sky run championship, overall number 2, and I compete like different countries like Italy and France, and in Hong Kong I came XL7 and I beat record. I compete different way. Then I finished number 2 2015. Then in Nepal, everybody, the girls are very encouraged about my work and in the trail running, and they are dreaming to be like dreaming to run like me also. And everybody, I come from also very remote area east of Nepal, and my place name called Bhojpur, and small little place Sanadumba. I come from that, and I born also very remote area, and they see my achievement thing, and they realize, wow, she done, and like this kind different country competing race and winning, and having also record everything, and they are very one. Uh, they are very encouraged themselves, and I'm so happy to compete also this kind race in the world. And I always thanks my who bring me here to support. If without support I cannot do nothing, and I always thanks for everybody from the world's for support.
Preeti, in what way did Mira defeat all the other contestants in this Changemaker Award? Why was she seen as the top runner, the recipient of this award?
You know who were the nominations? There were Indra Nui from India, who is Coca-Cola's, Pepsi CEO right now. Then there's Jingxin from Soho International in China, and I saw her picture with them. And well, it is because I guess she's coming from nowhere in Nepal, the eastern Nepal, and that too in such a village where you take like 29 kilometers of hiking to reach her village. And a person who comes from that background, who has gone through child soldier phase, and I think worked through all the hardships that she's got since childhood, and come to that stage, be in the spotlight, do her best, won the championships, and when children and girls especially in the villages see her on television and see who Mira Rai is, what she's doing on the trails that they are bringing water on, or they're going to cut grasses in, and they're like, oh, she can do. She is becoming so popular just by running on the trails, and we should try as well. And that inspired a lot of girls in 2015, 16. to come up and participate in the races, the trail races especially. Yeah.
So she's a game changer in the. You're a game changer in the respect, Mira, that you are empowering the young girls of Nepal to run like you have, to, in doing the running, create economic opportunities for themselves, and to move their human stories forward. You also recently won another award. You were the National Geographic 2017 Adventurer. Preeti, if you could explain again why Mira was chosen before I speak to her about the award as well. How do you get nominated for this, and B, how do you win it?
2017, I guess, when Mira won the second World Championships in 2014. 2015, yeah, Lloyd Belcher, he documented her story, her life story, which is raw, which is original, and it's so natural, and that highlights the way children are brought up in Nepal, especially girls, so and it was the life that is a natural life of an adventurer. You're not going there with artificial brought stuff and with all risk analysis and everything, but you're there on the field, you're living your life, and that's the life of a true adventurer who's coming from ground. So, and she had a story of, joining the Maoist army as a child soldier at the age of 14 so that she could feed her family or help her family in some way, and wasn't any political agenda or anything, but just that at the age of 14, children do feel responsible for their families. And the hardships from there, the lifestyle that she lived, and then suddenly she gets a platform where she's running 50 kilometers race without knowing it's a race and just winning it. And it was I think it was easiest thing for her to do, because she wasn't carrying big 70 kilos of rice or wood or whatever, leaves and grasses. So I guess that really meant for, that authentic adventurer nominations and the nominations were for 46 days, 44 days, sorry, and every day people had to vote for one of the contestants.
Yeah, yeah.
So for 44 days, every day, whole Nepal was together to vote for Mira.
Yeah, and always I want to say thanks for all from the whole who support, who vote for me. I want to say for them thanks from heart.
Yeah.
And giving opportunity for me, and this is very great. This award is not me for a new future for Nepal, for who want to do like I don't like this kind of thing. And I always thanks for all my relative or friends, everybody, and from the world. I want to say thanks for them too.
We recently interviewed the CEO of the Commonwealth Games, David Grevenberg, and he spoke about resilience and the need to have resilience in order to achieve great things. Resilience being strength to continue, strength to move forward. What is the secret of your strength, Mira?
Yeah, my secret was a simple thing: keep moving, and what you do want to do, we have to do ourselves from the heart, and to keep moving. And also one thing for my side, it's very important for opportunity and also feel. I'm very glad to compete also like this trail running, different overall the world. And also when I won, and I did a lot of movement in my village, and a similar that's kind uh, race, also trail running and sky running, like up and down. Like one thing also is very important when we grow up, from where and what's kind of field. And my field was like I go in the hills of mountain, and then I do a lot of up and down carrying with load, and to like this kind I move in uh, when I was child, or I was younger. And then when I find like this trail running just 2014. And for me, when in the mind, how to jump, how to run in the down, and how to run in the up, and how to keep moving, this kind of work I already done in my village when I grow up. That's And for me, when I be in a mountain, and I feel more relaxed and movable, and it's very comfortable for my like this. I think it's come from my holding place, and now I saw over the world, and it's very important from you. So this kind challenge thing. Also, I'm very glad to all organizer of the world, like trail running in the world, and I'm very happy, very lucky to organize also my boss, Richard Sir. We organize in Mustang around Kathmandu, and then I get opportunity, then I in, and then
So it was a combination of things, having to be strong when you were very young. The story of you joining the Maoist rebels at age 14, a child soldier, helping your mother from when you were very young, quite extreme physical tasks. You were living
in a very small village. And yeah, it's when I joined, because I did a lot of work in the village, and there is no option to find to do new thing. We have to do every time, like agriculture, farming, and to grow corns, seasons work like me. And then I want to do like I climb a wall, everything, cutting grass and moving everything. In there is I didn't find nothing, and then I want to do new thing. Then good opportunity to move from village to join Maoist army, and then to help also family.
Yes.
With my family was my family is a little bit like seven. We have seven, dad, mom, and child, five children, and I'm oldest sisters, and I have to maintain myself also to give opportunity for young brothers.
responsibility.
It's like her parents made their mud house themselves 37 years ago when there was even no water, and there was no alternative to the hard work that they had to endure. Her mother was a very active person, and still she is. And Mira used to accompany her mother to get rice, or to sell rice around in the villages, or help around in the fields and get water from really down. It's like
Take up.
yeah, go down half an hour, come up half an hour, with the water. And
Yes.
so I guess there was no alternative, and all that you needed to do was get it done.
Yes, just to survive, you had to keep moving, keep carrying, keep doing all day long. So these were building blocks in forming a world-class athletic career. In 2016, Mira, you had an injury, a knee injury, and then you both decided to focus a little more on the Mira Rai Initiative to train up other young girls of Nepal in order to win races, which has economic value, of course, as well, because of the winnings, but also it trains them to be tourist guides in the area. Can you explain about this initiative? You had a bunch of girls, 5 of them, in 2018, who you trained up and they did extremely well. In 2019, you're concentrating on the next bunch of girls. How does it work, Preeti? How does the system work? How do you spot the girls? Can you go through the training program?
Mira won the National Geographic Adventurer of the Year award in 2017. And I was conducting Kathmandu Trail Race series. And this is the first time in history of Nepal that, 20 kilometers, 15 kilometers, and less than 10 kilometers race was happening in the Kathmandu Valley. And the race used to be every month. And 2 distances, and new participants were coming in. And suddenly from 60 or 80 participants, there used to be 200, 300 people coming in that race. And we saw a significant rise in the number of female participants participating in that race. And also the ones whom we did not know, like, there was a mother of a child, Chechi Sherpa, and she had done 1700 kilometers race, east to west Nepal, Great Himalayan Trail Race, and won. And she is still the first Nepali woman to complete the entire race. And there was another girl who had done 300 kilometers race, and there's another one who was coming up as a short distance, 50 kilometers, really good ultra runner. There was winners from my races as well. And then we thought, we have 5 girls in front of us who were so good. And something that was shocking for us was, the girls were working as a domestic help, and every job has a dignity, but we asked them if they wanted to continue their career in trail running field, if there was any. And that was an experiment that we started up with. And Mira used to give opportunities, so she conducts an annual race in Bhojpur in her village, and on the 3rd edition, so she got an opportunity to invite a female and male winner to Hong Kong, to send to Hong Kong for the race, Golkha Trailblazer race. And there she met Kilim. And so, and that's how it was like, all right, let's ask the girls to come and participate in Oxfam 100 kilometer trail walker series. This will be the first time for the girls to come. And for us, it was like an opportunity. It was like, all right, if they go just for the race there, then there's just a trophy coming in Nepal. There won't be any big changes, So let's make it an empowerment program as well. So we added all the professional courses that was available in Nepal, like trekking guide license training, and then English speaking classes and soft skill development classes. They were going for the races, and they were getting all these internship opportunity to conduct, group races or group runs around Kathmandu. And that's how the program formed. And Kilim was really enthusiastic to support, all right, let's get all the girls, but let's also do this and see what the changes could be like. And yeah, and that's how Exchange and Empower program came to life. And the girls were amazing. This was the first time that they were doing 100 kilometer trail race, and Nepal, representing Nepal as a girls team for the first time. And they came second with 16 hours, 30 minutes of timing, just behind the elite Salomon female athletes in Hong Kong.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Who no doubt have a much bigger budget behind them.
Yeah. We started with no frills. It was like frugal. All right, let's just see what we can do with the 5 athletes and use all the resources that we have around us. And that was a great outcome for the process. And then we thought, all right, it works. It worked for the first time, and then the second time we still had more participants because we were looking at the races, and there are more races coming up in Nepal in remote areas. So this time the girls that we have are from villages and not from Kathmandu, and they're strong. They're so strong. All they need is now professional training, and with all the programs that we had before, and a little bit of improvisation here and there. Yeah.
So you are both runners.
Yeah.
How do your training programs differ? Yours to Mira. Well, what's your training program, Mira? You explained
Okay.
that you won your first race with no water, no food, and you just decided to do it. Presumably you train a little bit more now.
Yeah, it's I do some training around Kathmandu Hills, and I do in the morning and now some 2014-15 I did long races, like 5 hour or it's sometimes long distance and continue and same balance, and sometimes are different, run fast for 2 hours and half and like this kind, and sometimes we have to repeat the hills, try to run also down, and like this kind training I did in past days. Now I'm 6 months ago I did surgery. I'm still struggling to my recovery thing, and second time surgery, axial and also cartilage thing, and I'm trying to back in the trail, but still working,
Still recovering.
recovering
Yes.
in the. But I do always, be free, and then how heal your body. We have to know also our body, how is our body. Then you continue.
You're still recovering from your knee problems.
Yes.
And all of these girls are benefiting from this injury time, or let's focus on the running, because you're training them, which is amazing luck for them. Preeti, you are also a runner, and this is how you both met.
Yeah, I met her in one of the trail races in Kathmandu when I used to do 10 kilometers race in 3.5 hours. So I I was I grew up in India, and my last few years before coming to Nepal, I was doing marathons, half marathons, couple of half marathons. But those are all roads. So when I met Richard for the first time and I was signing up for Kathmandu Ultra, he looked at me like that when I signed up for 27K. And I was like, I can do it. I did 30 kilometers in India. So he was like, all right, you will see. And I did see. It was like, the elevation was like that. That fourth hill from here is the start of my trail running experience. Yeah, but then it was the marvelous time that I had on the trails. I'm a nature person, and spending at 9.5 hours on the trails and still coming out feeling completely different and charged up was a very, very different experience. It was so earth, it was so natural. So that hooked me up. And then I was like, all right, I need to get it done. And then I would see Mira running past me, and then gone. But then she incited that curiosity, and then I started doing more of runs, and then when I was conducting my races as well. So Richard gave me this opportunity to do shorter distance races, my kind of races. I want to do 20K, I want to do 10K, not 50K, just like that. So yeah, so that time it really improved, and it also improved with the core classes that I started taking, and the high intensity training that I was taking. So finish with dignity.
Can you tell us about Mira, the records that Mira has broken? And you interrupt Mira as well. And also explain to the audience that actually Mira has run all over the world.
Yeah, it's I went first. That's 2014. I started trail running from Kathmandu. That was 2014, and I want to thanks also karate teacher, and he gave me opportunity to live also in Kathmandu, because from village it's no chance to come to stay in Kathmandu to train everything. Then I tried to go Malaysia for work, but he stop me. Then try to train 1 year, then once you are, and then do more thing or not, you can go. You give me opportunity. I want to thanks for him too. And when my first race was in Nepal, I ran 2 races, and then I really like it. Then I went to in Italy, and there's 2014 September 11th, and I competed. Then there is Italy sister. I competed with her, and then I think some second, a 2 minute or some minute, I beat her record in first race in Italy. And my dream was I could, to compete, but I didn't realize I broke also record, but I did it.
And also Ben Nevis.
Yeah,
You
and
broke the
also
record there too, didn't you?
this was like when I did surgery and then back, and then I broke record like in France, Mont Blanc marathon 80 kilometer. I compete also, and then I make also record myself like that, and I really like this kind.
It's incredible. Can you tell us about the distances and how steep? Is it like that? Like that?
Yeah, in Nepal, we have to. I ran around 4,000, like Mustang Trail race. There is stage race, and in France we have to run 2,000. A little bit up. It's for me normal, and and Bendemis was not so. It's for me very. It's long race, like 14 hours running in Bendevis. I make a record, and then there was not so high, like Bendevis mountain was 1,000, and just run, continue. Challenge was like how to manage our like eat, run, and do move, continue this kind. I was a child, and then I was carrying my rice, then continue running downs and up, and when you stay like 2 minute break, 125 kilometer in Bendevis, and in Somoni was 82 kilometer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's okay. And then next one in Italy, like my first race, yeah, like 57 kilometer. And also I ran in Australia and Norway and Spain was 110 kilometer. I complete, then I finish like in the old number second place. There is a ranking, winning for like in Hong Kong. I was like Asian Games since like Asian champion, and then later I went to Australia. There was today arrived and running. It was very difficult, and I finished third place. And then I went in Mont Blanc, and then I did record, and I won. And like this, and then I went to Norway, and then there was steep, and I fell first climb. Then I got hurt my leg, but I finished second place, and then I Spain 110 kilometers. Then
Now that is resilience, isn't it?
yeah, like this.
What
Very
happens after the race? What happens
Sorry?
after the race? Let's say after the Ben Nevis race, what did you do to recover?
Then I train again, and then
But let's say for the 12 hours after the race, what did you do? Obviously you slept, but what do you do to recover after a race like that?
after a race, like sleep, and then drink, eat more, and then also a little bit we have to move, and completely relax and do it, the exercise thing also, and do continue.
Let's continue.
Yeah, it's different our body how fast we recover also. And
How tall are you both? How tall are you both?
I'm 5'1.5".
Don't forget the half.
Get half.
Mira?
I'm 5'3" and it's pretty up, I think, but like that.
So you're both incredibly strong ladies.
Oh, thank you. But we are trying to be.
Yeah, we're
Thank
trying.
you.
We're trying.
Mira, if there is one tip, a technical tip that you can pass on to any long distance runner. Let's say people are listening to this interview from all over the world, and there's a university student age girl thinking of running competitively in long distance. What is the one technical piece of advice that you would give her?
I think we have to do continue training also and be patient, and then also uh, move in the trail. Then try to do different kind training like we push and down. Try to move very relaxedly, and then enjoy yourself. Then keep moving. Yours what you are feel. Then moving more, pushing yourself, and then we'll be fine.
Yeah, I think it really works. Yeah, it works because I won 2 podiums. Like I came third in the world's highest race in the Everest region and the second one in Kathmandu. And it was the same thing. Okay, push on the uphill. Don't stop. And then I realized I came third. So
Don't push yourself very hard.
yeah,
Because we have way more longer, and then listen also your body, and then how you have power your in the body. Then also important for put energy, eat, and then drink more. Not too when we run, not we have to drink very oftenly, just little, but like every 15 minutes or like different. Just drink, eat, run.
and when you are there on the trails, you have to enjoy the trails and your body. So both your trails and your body
And
is on
good mind
sync,
also relax.
and that really works. It's like you're not nervous, you're not anxious, you're not thinking about the race. You're just going and going according to your strength. And like I've seen the difference in how I perform. So and I'm just a seasoned finish that race kind of a person. So I guess it's a very good tune in suggestion that she gives. That's really nice.
Our psychology, it's very important to also. This running is nothing. Also very important to manage our mind also. How you are, how strong, and how to performance, and then do more training, and then relax, and then when compete is very easy. How you train, and then then when we do very hard training, then in the competition will be easy.
So, to all the elite athletes or would-be elite athletes out there listening and watching this show, can they come out and train with you, Mira? Is there a commercial way in which this is possible?
Yeah, always welcome to Nepal. I really want to, when I learn from different way or from Nepal, then I want to, different country. Then let's work together. Then have a fun. Our feel our, have a fun. Like and let's encourage also our country, our community, our team, our like this kind. Let's do together, and then let's go forward to to summit our dream. Everybody, welcome to Nepal, and then let's train together. When I come in Europe, in different place, and let's you also there training also. And when I'm Nepal, also let's train together and then have fun also.
Yes,
Thank
so
you.
to do that, we have started up like through Mira Rai Initiative, we have trail running camp.
Yeah,
And we tested our first camp in March with Spanish trail running professional coach from Singapore. She's Spanish, and there were 17 of Spanish, Argentinians, Latinos people who had come over to train in Nepal. So we offered 5 days training in a really nice place in Nepal. Most of the places are remote and hard and extreme adventure, but what we are trying to do here is set up a nice base. And from there, we go training for 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers, good food, good rest, hot shower. That is there, and we'll be updating our website soon, and that is on offer. We are going to add more destinations on our list.
How did they get hold of you?
So one is through the website, and we are very, very active on Facebook. So you can check out Mira Rai Initiative and Trail Running Camp, Badipur. So this is one camp that we have.
And follow me also.
Yeah, follow her. Follow Mira Rai Initiative.
Especially on Instagram as well. You have a very nice Instagram account. You've met quite a lot of famous people because your initiative has drawn a huge amount of media coverage, hasn't it? You've been on the BBC, you've been on a lot of media. People have been extremely interested in your initiative because it really is helping to young girls to empower themselves to move their lives forward. Out of everybody that you haven't met so far, who would you like to meet? And what would you like to ask them?
I like to meet Mr. Barack Obama and his family, if possible, to invite in Nepal, then visit to our work like Mira Rai Initiative, to see for him, tour in Nepal, like that.
I think we're trying to see our future very seriously at the moment, because even the small ideas that we had and we implemented them, it's helping so many people. We have direct 10 beneficiaries, the girls, and then there are so many races happening. The race organizers want Mira to come and help them in the races. So we went ahead and did Bhojpur Trail Race this year, and we're trying to get the best practices out there. So we started up with Nepal Trail Series project, wherein we collaborate with all the small remote village races, because without races there are no athletes. And all the races before were centered in Kathmandu. And the athletes that we are finding from these remote areas, we sponsor elite athletes from Kathmandu and take them to the villages, and still the regional athletes win. The first and second.
Can you explain the context here, why this is so amazing? Your society is quite conservative. There is still a thing such as child marriage. Can you explain your context and why this is so change-making, such a big thing in your area?
There are things like there's still caste hierarchy. There's still Brahmins, Kshetris, upper caste, lower caste people. And there are people in the villages who are, the GDP idea that you need to have money to be called wealthy. It has gone through all the villages. So people want money and they think they're poor. And so there are rampant practices. Now, thankfully, there are campaigners who are stopping child marriages and, the trafficking. It has gone down a lot, but there's still girls trafficking happening in remote parts of Nepal, Tamang community. Or one of our athletes come from the village where child marriages are quite rampant. At the age of 11 and 12, her friends are all married. It may not be the forced marriage, but there's no, the education, and it hasn't reached to those corners of Nepal. However, when she comes from there and she says that I'm going to run, I'm not going to get married, and then she gets a proper support and platform where she competes, and she's in Maya Buddha, and she is the youngest Asian sky running champion from 2017. And she has won Mount Goglikong in China, and now she's competing in the Golden Trail Series in Europe.
Now she's in France.
Yeah, she's in France. So these kind of opportunities, they are opening up a way for the children there. I think Mira, we come from special families. her family, when you talk to them, they say that we could not educate our children. There's 7 of them. So we said, all right, whatever you want to do, just go and do it. And for me, I was a rebel, and I would do things. I'm happy my parents are happy. I've got education and everything. But this is not the state in rural parts of Nepal. So when you see someone like Mira coming from a similar situation like they are born in, and worse than that, 3 generations ago back, it was not that great. And still she made it to this level. So this is a huge, huge liberating factor for them. And factor which is like, Mira and I come from special families. Our families have let us go and do whatever we wanted to do. And right now, so in the rural areas, seeing someone like Mira coming up from a situation like theirs or worse than theirs, and making it in the international platform, shining banners all around, she's so famous, and running, and seeing her running on the trails that they bring, 70 kgs of wood and chopped leaves from, so our athletes are like that. They've worked in their teenage years, they've worked on someone's farm and got the stuff, and they used to work for household income. And still, sports amongst girls is not very encouraged. All our athletes are very, very special. They identify themselves as boys, which is not a really great stuff, but that's how they got liberation. They are rebels. They want to come out and and compete with the boys. And they used to play with the boys. I mean, go and play volleyball, football, or just go running. Even if there's a sport like that, they come out and they want to stick to it, and they do deliver. And
what has been the opposition to this? How has the opposition crystallized? Are there any stories of opposition to what you are trying to do, to what these girls are trying to do?
Yeah, so Nepal does not recognize trail running as a national sport yet. So even when Mira had made records, people would tell her to burn the certificate because it's going to be of no use nationally. And the same thing, like when they come for the programs, the initial point is, why are you going for the sport? We are not going to spend money on you for the sport. Either you go into army or you go into police, that's fine. But the dream of carrying, the dream of being an international professional athlete is futile. And that too in trail running. It's not even in the Olympics. Why are you working so hard for it? But I think it's like we are not government agencies. We are a small team which is trying to do something. There's no corruption. There's no big politics happening around. It's just a simple idea, and we're just implementing it. And we're seeing the results. And everybody is seeing the results. So the opposition from where it used to be, now it has come down. And a lot of marathoners, they want to get into trail running. And even the boys have asked us, why is it just for the girls? We want to get in also. So yeah, it has been a really incredible journey through resistance and opposition, and now the better identity that it's getting.
Salomon support Mira. Mira, you're part of the Salomon team. Do you have any big organizations actually involved in the Mira Initiative, big sponsorships from sports organizations, large corporations helping you? And if you don't, would you like them to support you?
Yeah, it's now we are working to do good thing to communicate everything from here, from Nepal. Then I'm sure slowly they will be supporting me also to give opportunity for them. Also because last time we did Annapurna 50K 100 km race also, and there's Salomon, they gave money, they put money for one program, and then we shoot video program, everything. And then this year we are doing like in October, competitive like Golden Trail Series final is in but in Nepal in Annapurna Marathon is very great to have also like this competitor also in Nepal to see also my dream also. Wow, my dream also was like that. Now also we Salomon, my team are bringing also all athletes overall the world in Nepal to compete in Nepal also, and it will be in future. I'm sure will they will be my team will be support also, but we have to be ready also to work also, and we are trying to do also.
Yeah. We were 5 athletes before, now we are 10. And now when we are going with the Nepal Trail Series, when we are seeing the athletes in different regions, and so Nepal Trail Series, it kind of brings the best 3 athletes, male and female, to Golden Trail Series to compete with the best of the athletes from the world. So we need a space now. We need a hostel. We need a professional coach. We need someone who can guide the entire training process individually. The team is entirely growing, and we're just dependent on one small team, which is from Hong Kong. So now we see that there's a chance for expansion, and we are getting ready for it. So yeah, it would be quite nice to get in touch with people who would want to support us for the podcast.
You mentioned earlier, and in our conversations away from this interview, how much you have appreciated, obviously, the rich connection with your own families to help you move forward. But you've particularly mentioned Richard Bull. Both of you, do you have individual messages for Richard Bull, who hopefully will see this interview one day?
I'm very thanks, big thanks. I don't know if he's like my godfather or I don't know. It's amazing. He gave me opportunity, then I just jump in and then I run. He worked, he done for me so hard work. Then I am here. Then I always very kind with him. Then let's try to support for trail running in Nepal to young generation also together. And I really want to try my side to giving opportunity back also from Nepal, and then he will be support from the world to make very bigger sport in the world also.
In our lifetimes, we meet certain people who change the course of our life, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. And for me personally, Richard has, for her, he's a godfather. For me, he's a best friend. He's a godfather. He gave me so much opportunities that, that was bigger than what my family had also given me. Yes, they have their own space, but the space that I had with Richard was completely different. It made me, strong as a woman, strong as a leader, and he, he pushed me a lot to, break my boundaries, break my comfort zone, how Nepali society would be like, the Nepali context and everything, and got me diving in there and fight all the oppositions, all the resistance, and it's like, all right, this is what I'm going to do. Yeah. So completely, I think we need to be very, very grateful to the person who gives you confidence. Yeah. Not money, not this. It's a byproduct. We are very, very grateful to him, and
very great.
and
super great from my side.
As much as we could, however we could, amateurs, professionals, whatever.
I try my side from, he worked very hard and push me this place. Yeah. And then now I try, he give me, I never speak like English, everything. He's always correction me like that's every time, he's
so this rich connection that you made, both of you, with this one individual's, has changed the course of your lives, and you've in turn changed the course of other girls' lives. And then hopefully one day when you are old ladies, There will be other generations doing it. It's amazing the ripple effect that these people have, isn't it?
And one more thing which is very, very special about Richard is he never controls. So I have had problems with authoritative men, coming from patriarchal society. And to have somebody who listens to your ideas, accepts it, gives validation to them, and makes it feel like, they are important, was so much freeing. And for us, I think for me, I mean, it's kind of a very, very special gift. And that's what we are trying to do with the other girls also. Empowerment does not mean to control or to, get the, to always have that entitlement of, I helped you, so you have to help me back. Never, never. It was like, there's no control. You're free to do whatever you want to do. Just go on the right way and we'll see what happens, But whatever you could do, just do it. Go there on the field. Yeah, so I think this is very, very special about him. That I don't know what it is. It's a supreme kind of emotional intelligence.
He changed my life. He changed like everybody there encouraged from me. It's very important also. Research sir, he did opportunity. Then I had like I don't know what's my mind is amazing. And thus my work is running and it's here is very difficult to get like to do like this kind of work to make proud also Nepal also.
It's been fantastic speaking to you, Mira Rai, and also Preeti Khattri, and long may we have many conversations and keep this rich connection going.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.